Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Role Players Podcast. I'm here with the other two members of our party. If you've been listening, you probably have just heard Brooks and Gabe's adventure. That's Marcos and Arter, their little side adventure. And now I'm here with the other two, which is Branson, who plays
Maelish and Evelyn.
and Jordan, who plays
Evelyn Visneva.
Exactly, and while the two most combatly inept players go and started combat, now the two least best talkers of the group are going to go, try to talk with pirate leaders.
Oh, come on. I talk a lot. It's just my charisma
Not
sucks.
only are you guys you're bad talkers, but you both are like lawful neutrals, like lawful good, lawful neutrals.
I later realized I'm
You are-
playing lawful good.
you-
not lawful neutral, so.
You both are playing lawful characters.
In a pirate.
Well, in a pirate thing.
I can follow the codes. I'm kind of between true and lawful.
Here's what I've found though with like when it comes to like lawful characters. Like there was this one time I played a campaign where it was a one-off thing where we had 5 people playing and we all wanted to be paladins. So every single person in the party was a paladin, and we all decided we also all wanted to be lawful good, and that's kind of what the DM was like, oh, it's going to be this cool story where you guys are all paladins. But we ended up being the biggest dicks in the world, and I found that some of the biggest dicks in the world are lawful goods, i.e. Superman.
Yeah, no. From my interpretation, I'm one of those people who believe that alignments, you shouldn't necessarily go, you can't do that because that's not your alignment. It's more like, so it's sort of like a guideline. It's like a little thing to say, okay, how it's a helpful way to figure out what would my character do in a certain situation rather than a limit. But from what I gathered, I feel like most nice people would probably be like neutral good because they're just like they don't care about enforcing any kind of order. They just want to be nice guys.
I always saw people more as being kind of true neutral. Like,
Yeah.
they're trying to take care of themselves. They're trying to take care
True
of the people
neutral
they care about.
and neutral good are like the nicest people you'll run into.
Yeah.
Lawful good, they have a sort of sense of righteousness. A lawful good person, like my character, he's a bit arrogant.
It's by the books, though, is what lawful is, because the difference between the lawful and chaotic is chaotic goes, the rules of the government, the rules of the group don't apply to me, right? Where the lawful goes, we need to follow these rules because it makes our society safer.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, even a person who is like a huge giant jerk, right, can be a lawful because he thinks he's following his own rules.
Yeah.
And in the end, I think some of those people end up being the most scary of all.
Yeah, because they're very impunitive. They're very
There's nothing
my way or
scarier
the
than a bad
highway.
person who thinks they're doing the right thing.
Well, I think most... Anyway, so you guys, where we left off, I believe you guys had just gone to sleep.
I was still asleep. Like, I don't think I woke up through that whole thing.
Branson woke up for the ordeal. He found out that they are being watched, that there's more going on right now. What happened the day before is you guys had just been in town for one day.
It's a very eventful day.
Yeah, you guys found out that you have this territory, that you have the door in the territory. You have got your own allies, and you know exactly who your enemies are almost immediately. Today, you are supposed to have a meeting with all of the pirate lords at the Hall of Calling to discuss a resolution to what is happening. Yes, so you know that's going to be at midday. That's what they talked about when the sun is right above this, right overhead. Mm-hmm. You both kind of wake up, and I'm guessing you. When do you guys wake up? Like, would you sleep in?
I woke up
Probably
a little
pretty early.
I mean, I guess my character worked on a ship. The thing is, though, he also had his sleep disturbed, so I think Evelyn will definitely have woken up before he does.
Like she's probably pretty used to getting up.
So you wake up, and you are at the very top in the regional captain's area, and you walk down through the bunk where the guys were sleeping, and you realize that Branson, Maelish is the only one in the room. Marcos and Artera are both not there.
Can I make a perception check? See if
make a perception check.
See if it looks like, maybe they're just like downstairs or something. 18.
You can tell that the bag that Maelish carries around with him, everywhere that has the ship part in it is not there.
Okay.
And you'll also realize that all of their weapons, all of their clothing are not there either.
Son of Perkan!
What? Oh! Is there another one? Is there another person in the window? I mean... Oh, it's Martin.
My apologies, Maelish. Do you have any idea where Artera and Marcos could have gone off to? Because none of their things are here. I don't know if they would take everything with them if they just go for a walk, but...
I think that's the most I've ever heard you say.
It probably is.
I hop out of the bed and I look around and I guess, with basically what I realize sort of, Marcos always wanted to, constantly talked about leaving, but, the door, and Artera's a drow, those people don't really commit to anything. I wouldn't be surprised if they just skedaddled or scrammed. And that...
Well, they picked a fine time to do it then.
For themselves. They picked a fine time. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. No, that's not good. We have the thing. That's...
I think about what he says for a moment, and I'm going to go down and check on the door, because, what if they went and figured something out with it and went in there on their own?
So you go down there, and the door is completely... The passageway to the door is completely closed.
Is the arrow still down here?
Yes, it's still stuck in the wall.
Okay. And what the fuck is this?
Oh, yeah. So last night, they fled. Well, basically, there was, I guess, an assassin or something. Someone threw this arrow in here and left a note threatening us.
They threw an arrow.
Okay. They shot one. I just woke up. Give me a break. They shot an arrow, and I know it was just last night, but it feels like it's been a month. I basically, it's like they said we're being watched or something. I don't know who it's from. I don't know who's behind it. All I know is that apparently there might be some group that knows about the door, and they know we know about the door, and they're not entirely happy, but not unhappy enough to actively try to murder us, more so try to scare us. From what I can gather, I've been confused for the last couple of weeks. I sort of just started accepting things are being weird.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Where did they leave the note exactly?
It's on the arrow.
Oh, it's on the arrow? Marcos and Artera?
It's on the arrow.
Okay, so then I'm thinking, okay, that's the one he means. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to look at it. Can I see the note? So I can...
Sorry, the note. The note they left.
Okay.
Are you talking about the note they
left?
left?
Yeah, I want the one Marcos and Artera
You don't know where that is.
Okay.
Well, that's
I thought it was up in the room, which is why I did the perception check.
No. Out of game, they left it at Swain's.
Okay.
But you guys
couldn't remember. So in game, obviously, I don't know that. I just
You
wanted
don't
to know out of
On the
character
note-
if it was in the room or something.
On the note that you picked up from the arrow, it just has... Yeah. So basically, on the note, it also says the Sons, which you haven't heard of as well.
Yeah.
I
obviously think the Sons of Perkan, but that's...
But it's not
not
the
their
right
symbol. Yeah,
Yes.
not their symbol. I don't know why they would want to mess with us. So
Lot of fathers, lot of sons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
it's brotherhoods too. Come to think of it.
There's also a sisterhood about some walking pants that I've heard about.
Yes, I'm so happy you said that.
What else do you guys want to do?
I did not intend for Maelish to become Deadpool this episode. My apologies.
I guess just definitely not happy. This was kind of an angry wake up. I guess we're just gonna.
Yep.
I mean,
make sure that everything here is secure. Have patrols start around the neighborhood then that we requested.
Yes, that's one thing that you guys had talked about before. You guys managed to get a small group of people from Roost Island to come and fill the militia spots
Yeah.
of people who had been killed by Arvo, you're
Yeah.
guessing.
Yeah.
And you know it's a very small number. You know it's not enough. And you also had Swain for a little bit, but they went back to their territory.
Okay.
Okay, so all that's in order then.
Right. So you guys have a small group.
I guess we make sure that let's make sure that someone at least is able to guard the tower. Like,
Yeah. I mean, is there any of your crew that you can like get to
are
guard the
any
tower?
of my crew among these people?
So you don't know necessarily who it was because they were all people from Roost Island.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you don't know.
I
any
wasn't
of
sure if
those.
it was people from our
Right, so
ship
they were
or not. Okay.
part of the old crew,
Mm.
Okay.
and they took like I said, so it was a small group, like 50 people on Roost Island, right? They took like 30, 35 of those people, and those are the people who are now patrolling the neighborhood.
Okay. I guess in that case, it would probably be best to draw like as little attention to it as possible. So we'll just make sure that the door is hidden,
Yeah.
as well as it's supposed to be.
Well, and
as
it's a
it can
tower,
be.
like
Right.
it sticks up above.
Well, right,
above
but like
the
I mean,
city,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
might
want to
as
make it
well.
seem. I don't want to make it seem like. I mean,
Have some watch people there because you're guarding
Yeah.
a tower. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be. It's also
I mean,
the place
it's also
where we
captain's
sleep.
quarters. So yeah,
Exactly.
we'll just
Yeah.
like put one or two people in front of the front door of the tower.
So are you
and,
guys gonna open the door to go outside, or?
Well, yeah, we're gonna go outside.
I guess we're gonna go
Tower.
out.
So
What's-
as soon as you open the door to get out of the tower, you see that there are 3 guys who are wearing the colors that Casimir, the Crimson's crew,
Yeah.
wore, the red.
Yeah.
And they're standing outside, and they're 3 Ascensions, and they're all men. They've got armor too. They all have swords, and they're playing dice on the ground in the street. And as soon as they see you, they go, "Oh, Captain!
What is this?
We were told to stand guard at the tower. Also, we were told to tell you that as soon as you could, the district elders, the community would like to talk with you. They're in the square."
Okay.
All right.
So, are you guys gonna go there?
Yeah, we'll head
Right
up
on.
to the market plaza.
So you guys go through this little. The guards show you where to go, and as soon as you start heading that way, they head inside the tower. They're gonna defend it.
Yep.
You walk through this small little alleyway that curves around and opens up into this large square. And the square is just an open area, nicely paved. There's lots of market stalls in it, and you can tell that there's been damage to this, that when the mischief attacked the neighborhood, that they burned things, they burned stalls, stuff was plundered, like taken, and you remembered walking through this place earlier, and you'd seen dead bodies around the neighborhood.
I had to do that
here
whole
as well.
mass funeral.
Well, but that was all in the tower.
Right,
That was
right.
just in the tower.
Right.
That you dealt with people, but
Oh,
there
crap,
were
I thought I
other.
was doing it more around the neighborhood.
No,
too.
you were
Oh,
doing.
okay.
You weren't. I didn't plan for you. You'd be up all night.
Good point. Yeah. Okay.
There was quite. I mean, there was quite a bit of dead people
Carnage.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as soon as you walk in, you almost aren't even able to walk in because there are just. It's just filled with people, and the only reason you're able to get into the market is because people are parting to let you through. And when you're when you kind of get toward the center, you see a group of people who are wearing a little bit nicer clothing, and there's 6 of them, and they're kind of standing around there yelling at each other, and people are yelling, and it seems to kind of die down when you show up. Though.
I'm going to assume those are the council.
Makes sense. I mean, they look pretty council-y.
People in charge generally tend to yell at one another.
And I'm gonna approach them.
They like I said, are silent as you approach,
Right.
and they go, "Captain."
I was told that you wish to speak with me.
Yes, we have problems. We don't have enough people defending this neighborhood.
That is something we are working on.
I mean, we need to know whether we're safe or not. And while they're saying this, a lot of people, there's a murmur of agreement through the crowd around you.
Oh shit. I gotta go into talkie mode.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Doesn't she still have her Highwinder
Yeah.
army, not army, but like.
Well, they're still on the boat. They were part of the crew on the boat.
Oh, damn, probably should have got in touch with them. Anyway.
They never got any orders to come on
right.
or anything like that. So
I mean, we could probably
Yeah,
see if we can press to get. I mean, I know that Marcos has guys. Not Marcos.
Artier
has guys, and you have guys.
Yeah. Marco has a guy.
Yeah.
Marcos has
one
a guy.
poor sap.
Yes.
Yeah. I will be able to send for extra people from the ship that we have. We will have them also protecting the neighborhood.
But how many is that? At most, it's 15, 20 extra guys. We need an army to defend ourselves.
They are an army, just a small one.
We need to be able to defend ourselves. And we were killed. Our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, killed in these streets. Over 60 people were killed. Not including those damn militiamen you had in that tower.
Those were not my men, and they have been given the proper funeral rites. We are going to speak with the lords. We are going to ensure that this neighborhood is properly protected. We are going to ensure that nobody else can come and attack the neighborhood as it has been. And if they do, they will be dealt with quickly and brutally. And if it is protection you are worried about at the moment, I would recommend picking up a weapon and preparing yourself.
What weapons, though? We don't have any weapons.
Were there like extra weapons in the tower? Or
And so you asked are you asking that question to them?
No, out of character. Like, did we notice like a weapon room in the tower?
There
or something?
wasn't a weapon room that you saw. If
Okay.
there was, it was taken. All the weapons were taken.
Oh damn. Okay.
So, but you didn't see one. There were rooms, but it didn't look like there was there wasn't any weapons in there when you went in.
Then use your fists. I thought, if I understand anything, I am new here, incredibly new, but, and
This
I'm
probably stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, people are like looking down on you in multiple senses. They're like, he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Fight with our fists."
Yes?
Do you want us to die?
No, I want you to try to live. Look, things are going wrong right now. From what I understand, everything is topsy-turvy before this event happened. We're finding our footing too, but when you lose everything, when death is knocking on your door.
I understand. You don't need to drone on.
I literally reach over and cover Maelish's mouth.
Yes, and he goes.
I'm so sorry.
And so the guy who's been the most outspoken. He kind of seems like one of the main guys of the community of the elders, and he goes, "My stores are not safe," and he's going to talk, but someone interrupts and says, "There are weapons in one of the god houses that it wasn't taken. It's not enough for all of us, but it's good for an extra 20 guys."
Sometimes that is enough to make a difference. So those of you that are the most physically able or the most skilled with such things, I don't know if any of you have had
Who's in
training.
charge of that? Says the guy, and he obviously is getting more and more upset at the moment.
Okay, this is the guy that was like been shouting the whole time.
Yeah, well, kind of the older guy,
Right.
wearing nice clothes.
Somebody other than you, I think.
Who then?
I'm gonna. I can send word to my crew. I would definitely pick Vera for
Yeah,
that.
you could easily do that.
I will send word to my crew. I have a woman on board called Vera. She will be in charge of that. She is an excellent fighter.
And he kind of he turns bright red. He seems obviously upset, and he kind of just marches out of the square, and the other members of the elders are kind of just standing around, and one walks up and he goes, I'm a blacksmith. I own one of the crap, I just had it. I'm so sorry. I own one of the
Twist the salt. Stool is actually a blacksmith shop.
No, he goes, I own one of the blacksmitheries. We sell mainly weapons. It's called the Trusty Friend. I'm more than willing to help supply weapons to keep this place safe. I don't have anything, though. My shop was plundered last night.
Provide what you are able.
I'll try. my son here, and he kind of looks at the kid who spoke up
Yeah.
about the weapons that were in one of the guardhouses. He says, my son will run and go get the crew from the ship. Is that all right with you? Is there anything in particular you'd want him to take with?
I suppose. What was the name of my hometown again? I'm trying to remember. Like, that was a while ago.
So long ago.
I've got, like, my list of people. I think I had, like, 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I ever give it a name?
I thought it was... I'm not really sure, actually. I thought it had, like, a little name. Like, it was just this tiny little podunk town thing. So
Yeah.
probably
Anyway.
Anyway, basically, I'll just tell...
Just tell him to tell Vera to get herself and the rest of Evelyn's people here.
Okay. And he kind of shakes his head, and his son kind of runs off.
Okay.
The blacksmith says, we also, one other thing that we were supposed to talk about, and he was one of the elders as well.
Mm-hmm.
He says one of the other things after Gar left, we were supposed to talk about at least, was where we were going to fight, how we were going to fight if the time arose.
Okay. Let me think. I'm gonna... So, remembering...
You will want the most people to be on the edges between this territory and the Mischief's territory, obviously.
Well, and he turns and he says, I mean, we also have to worry about the Aiden Jade. We have to worry about the Greens, not the Green Seers. We have to worry about the Jade Dragons to the north of our area. We also have the Dark Ears who might be passing through the Avatar's land. I mean, we have that.
We came to an agreement with the Avatars. I don't think the Dark Ears would be much of a problem right now.
And that's good.
The Mischief is definitely the greatest threat at the moment.
Yes. And so he pulls out a map of the neighborhood, and he points out specific areas that are marked with stars. And he says, all of these areas, these are the guard posts. This is the one that my son had mentioned, and he points one toward the north. And he says, this was the one that wasn't plundered as badly. There was a door that led down into a cellar that wasn't checked by the Mischief. These all are able to house men, each about 20 in general. At this moment, we have your crew that had already been here from Roost Island.
Right.
About 35 men.
35?
And we also have 20 men that can fight. I will make sure they're outfitted. And then who did you say? Vera?
Vera.
She will run another group.
Yes.
Part of my problem is at full strength, each of these are strategically placed so that they can guard streets entering. So, I mean, even these, they all guard ways in. Every single path into the district is made so that these guard posts can guard them.
Yeah.
The eastern ones have 2, the northern ones have 2, the eastern ones have 2, the southern ones have 2. Each one blocking street access into the neighborhood. So if we ever were attacked, hopefully, we were attacked by surprise. We weren't able to mobilize as quick. We were able to get into the streets and make choke points. And he goes, we don't have enough men. Which ones should we prioritize?
Okay. Definitely don't think the Dark Ears are as much of an issue because they have...
In the Greenies.
Yeah, the Dark Ears and Greenies. They have 2 territories to get through, both of which are currently backing us at least.
Though, I mean, Green Seers, I'm pretty sure they'd just be wrapped up in a party rather than outright fought. But
the Avatar's
the
like...
thing is, with the Jade Dragons, I mean, at least the way I see it, like... I mean, Aiden Jade is the only, like, dark guy in the very nice part of town.
Wait, dark guy?
I mean, evil guy.
Dark ear
guy.
Dark
guy.
Oh.
Like, evil guy, Matt.
Right.
Sorry. He's of the aggressor or, like, the people who dislike us. He's easily the most powerful, and he made no moves towards this territory. It was Arvo who was the one who was really greedy for it.
Arvo he strikes me as very quick-tempered, very short-sighted. I think he's probably the biggest threat because he's already, like, Swain threatened him once, and he's probably going to break that again. So we definitely want to focus on the sides.
Arvo is the one.
So if we have one group here in the plaza to block off a retreat here, and we have one here, and then we have another. Sorry, I should re-explain that so that people listening can understand. We'll have one in the plaza where we have now to block off the northeastern attacks. If they try to flank around. We'll have one more to the south that will block these two streets that come up from the east, and hopefully we'll be able to maybe block some of this that is happening, and also try and help that we won't be flanked up in the marketplace as well. The third group, Vera or whoever, can be a sort of strike team. They'll be able to move dynamically to where we need the most help. Does that sound good? Should we make any other preparations?
I think that will do for now. Hopefully we are able to clear things up before anything major arises. Hopefully we are able to return should anyone attempt to attack.
And he goes, this is good. If we can find any other way to get more weapons so that more people in the neighborhood can stand up and fight.
We could probably ask Swain. I do hate to with all the aid that he has offered already. But
possibly, but let's wait for after the.
And he also says, if we need any payment, the community, the elders have come together and people have put in what they can. We have about 300 gold in total that we've all pitched between us. Like I said before, the population of this little district is about 3,000. Which isn't even that big. I mean, even the Mischief themselves have almost 10 times that amount, 20 times that amount in their territory.
Yeah. Let's just assume it's 1 million.
Probably not 1 million, but
101,000 Dalmatian rats.
What?
Sorry, I did not know where that joke was going.
That just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, no, it did.
My charisma is 7. Get used to it.
In real life too.
Yeah.
In real life, it might be slightly higher just because of the game show host voice.
And he goes, and what sort of things would you like to do if this comes to be? If this fight comes to be?
Certainly, I will fight. The avatars, I believe, offered their aid for combat such as this, so if we were able to get the runner to them, we would be able to get help from them.
That's good. I mean, where will you be? You and your group. I mean, you can always run around to where people need the most help.
You always have my harpoon.
I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
He kind of just looks at you and then looks away.
Yeah. We would probably be able to focus on the parts of town that are less guarded. In particular, down these areas, I think.
I think that might be wise. We can always figure something out.
Of course.
We'll always find a way to get in contact with you if you need it.
Of course.
And then he kind of turns, he says, I will start preparations. What are you expecting from this meeting?
With luck, we will be able to get this territory and we'll be able to hold it. And at that point, I will be able to bring in more people to help defend the town, as well as the weaponry that we have on the ship. Damn, I should have had that boy also tell Vera to bring extra weapons. Oops. Hindsight's a bitch.
Maybe Vera might be able to go, maybe I need to bring the weapons.
I'm hoping she's a good woman. She's a smart woman. I think she can figure it out.
Okay. So he kind of goes, okay, and he kind of tells all the people in the square to kind of go back to their homes, prepare for what's to come, hope for the best, but pray to Prakam, Yeah. He also turns back to you and he points and he says, and he points at one of the buildings in the square that kind of sticks out. He says, "This is our temple to Prakam. I see that you are Highwinder.
Indeed.
If you need the use of it, I'm sure that our priest can talk with you."
Of course, I do appreciate it.
And he also says as well that our priest will probably be fighting with us as well.
Of course.
Probably in the market square to protect his temple. But yes, I hope for you the best. Is there anything else I can do for you before you have to leave?
No, I think you have done enough for now. Thank you very much.
So he kind of just goes and he heads back toward, you're guessing, toward his job to he's probably going to start working on weapons and stuff for the defense. What are you guys going to do?
I think... Quick stop by the temple, but I think I'm good on that for now.
Maelish is not in the mood for a drink.
Yeah, definitely not in the mood for a drink. I think that for now we should probably go to Swain and explain what we're expecting and ask what to expect from this meeting and just prepare for that, because that's going to be our big challenge today.
That sounds like a lot of rhyming words. We got to go to Swain, explain what this meeting is. Okay.
The rains in Spain.
Fall mine and the plane. All right.
Yep. Okay, so let's go to Swain.
So you guys leave out of the neighborhood, and as soon as you walk out, you look across this main street. It's very wide. Like I said before, there's lots of people there. It's a busy city. And you walk across the main street. You see that the Mischief's territory, Arvo's territory, is across. As you've seen before, it's kind of a crappy neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
But you do see a pack of a mischief of rats is watching you from their territory.
I give them my best attempt at a stink eye.
Okay. And you walk into the inner city through the gates, and immediately you are greeted with a patrol of Swain's, like a patrol of Swain's militia.
Yeah.
And the captain of the not the captain. Okay, a sergeant. Let's say, not to confuse things. A sergeant. He says, your lady, Vesneva, correct?
That is correct.
Swain would like to talk with you. He has something for you at the Marble Lady.
Of course, we will head there immediately.
Okay.
We head there immediately.
Yeah.
So you guys go to the Marble Lady. It's very nice, once again.
Yep.
And you
Looks nicer when you're sober.
Well, it's like no drinking today.
So you enter the Marble Lady, and there it's very full.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like a customer full. It is a war meeting. Mm-hmm. Sort of, where a bunch of sergeants, a bunch of lieutenants are all there, and they're kind of gathered around a map of the city and his district, and they're kind of pointing things out. And Swain looks up at you, and he goes, come with me," and he goes into a back room.
Follow.
All right, yeah.
So you go into the back room, and it's a little storage room. It has a stairway that leads up, and in the room is just a table. And other things, like it has like a storage area for like drinks and food and stuff like that, preparation area. But he lays a note down on the table in front of you. He says, "Your friends came in last night. They seemed in the rush. They told me they needed to get weaponry from a dwarf, mainly firearms."
Can I see the letter?
Wait, firearms, dwarf. Did they give you the name?
Well, I know this man. His name is Larth Boneson.
Oh, okay. All right. Different
I
dwarf.
suppose they are at least thinking ahead.
They were acting a bit strange, but they did tell me to leave you this message, and he hands you a message, and on it says, "I have a battle plan. Don't worry about it." It obviously looks like Artier's handwriting to you. And then under it says, "I second that," and it looks like Marcos' handwriting. And then under that, it says, "P.S. Please actually don't worry about this."
Those little shits.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Role Players Podcast. This was Mac with Branson and Jordan. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm sorry that this episode went out a little late. I just got married, so we had to reschedule our release schedule just a little bit because I didn't have time to edit. But I would just I'm feeling really thankful right now for all of you who have turned out and listened to our podcast, have shown us support. I really appreciate it. Make sure to go to our YouTube page, which is the Role Players Podcast, ROLL, Role Players Podcast. And make sure to subscribe. Make sure to leave us a comment. And next recording session, if we have any comments we will make sure to answer those. We are also on iTunes and Stitcher, so if you want to listen to us on the go, make sure that you listen to us there. And make sure to check out our website, which is www.theroleplayerspodcast.wordpress.com, because we have a bunch of cool stuff on there. Not only do you get notified whenever we release something new, but you also get to see cool things like the things I make for the D&D sessions or stuff like that. We're also soon going to be putting up some quick player and character profiles so that you guys can learn more about our characters and catch up on things if you don't feel like listening to all the episodes. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a really great day. Thank you for listening.